have very mixed feelings about this episode. Love more of, you know, let's say the first half of this episode than the later half. Really love the stuff that led up to Sir Christian death. Might as well talk about that first. So that's some stuff that I really love because I'm happy they stuck to the book plot because even gave us some stuff that we thought some book fans thought we wasn't going to see, like them being fucked with, like with mind games and stuff like that. Having dead corpses rise up when you think it's dead corpses, but no, it's just a sneak attack and things like that. It happened kind of fastly and stuff like that. In the books, it was more of a build up. Like one day, they didn't poison the whales. The next day, they didn't set up a feast of they set up like a feast of corpses that look like, you know, men having a feast, but in their armor having a feast, but you know, it was dead corpses and stuff like that, just trying to spook them. And the next day you'll see dead corpses sitting in chairs and on the march, and then the next day somehow these dead corpses in the chairs are starting to pop up and shoot arrows at your ass and shit like that. So we didn't get all of that, but I'm happy we got some of that. And some of that just, you know, they don't have a lot of time. This is only an 8-episode season. And stuff like that. They just don't have a lot of time when it comes to stuff like that. That's not really budget. That's just time. So yeah, I love that they did give us a little bit of that. Last episode with the Spikes getting booby trapping their horses, taking all their horses away from them, burning the bridge, and this episode having the choruses pop up, the fight a trick battle, like a trick, like small little battle, just to lure them in a situation. This is the type of thing you are gonna sacrifice some men for, but hey, like the old wolf said, they came here to die, so they here for this cause. But we did get to see some action with Sir Christian. I don't mind that because yeah, we're happy we get to see him perform with this Morning Star one last time. Like you said, the greatest warrior in the realm at this current point in time. It has been proven. He's beating the person we always see that's being a badass in season 1, episode 1. So yes, Sir Christian is a pretty much a tough ass fighter when it comes to men on the ground. The reason he has went mad and lost all hope, and it was on this pointless march because of dragon warfare, and he was pointless in dragon warfare. There's nothing you can do. You can have a perfect formation and battle plan and all that go to shit because a big dragon has showed up and burning shit that you don't need to be burned, and it can be 2 dragons battling and just pure chaos like we've seen at Rook's Rest. So yeah, very understandable why Sir Christian went on this death march. It's still a fucking death march. Let's just be for real here. Because there was no winning this. But it's that thing, they did trick him with that little bit of hope, even though they did sacrifice lives to trick him in that position. That was a strategy, but also it kind of gave them that false bit of hope, like, oh, we doing it, we just beat them up. But we all here in the middle, we just fought this battle that, okay, they tricked us, but it wasn't a lot of them. But wait a minute, while we was fighting them, everybody just fucking surrounded us. Where the fuck did this army come from? I also love that because it gives an excuse that why they didn't hear this big army coming up on them, because they was actively fighting. When you have swords and people hitting against shields and chainmail and plate armor and stuff like that. Well, not a lot of plate armor, but it was some few chainmail and stuff like that. But yeah, when you have people smacking against loud objects, it's gonna be kind of hard to hear stuff in the background, you know. So I'm happy they did that to give the excuse on why the army was able to sneak up on them. They was actively fighting, distracted, not being able to hear and stuff like that. It's just problem at the end of the episode. I have a problem with why that small group or quote unquote army got snuck up on. um, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, happy to see they went with the book ending though. Sir Christian challenging them. In the books, it was he challenged them to a 3v1, and here they didn't establish the other character that was in the book, so it makes sense that they just went with the two characters they gave some screen time to throughout this season. That was Roddy the Ruin and the Lord Tully. Is it? Hold on, wait. I be getting them mixed up because they I believe they Sesame Street characters. There's Lord Grover, um, Oscar. It's Lord Oscar. Lord Oscar. Lord Oscar. Okay. So yeah, here the established characters was just those two, and it makes sense that he challenged them 2-on-1 here, and but you know they still want to keep it fair to the books, and I just 2-on-1. Hey, I give you 3. Would you take 3 more or something like that? And 3 arrows being shot into Sir Christian. It was a perfect ending, in my opinion, for the show and book fans because you get the book ending where the scene he doesn't really get a chance to fight and hold his ground and do that man-to-man strategy and stuff like that, or he doesn't get to have that glorious one-on-one champion battle. You pick your champion. I'll be the champion of my army and stuff like that. No, no, no. There will be no song sung about you, Kingmaker. And I'm happy they stuck with that ending because it's such a great poetic ending that, yes, one of the greatest warriors of this time period didn't get a chance to have this epic final epic moment, and you know what people write songs about, people get drunk and talk about that time. Is that you remember that time that Sir Christian helped his own against all them northern savages? Like, nah, it ain't gonna be none of that. You're gonna be talking about, remember they shot his ass down at the butcher's ball? Oh, that was horrific. That was horrific. So yeah, happy they gave us a little bit of both endings. He got a chance to fight, and he also got a chance to not do nothing and feel helpless. But yeah, in my opinion, best acting performances and the best story arc that I've loved so far that's been completed. Let's just say that's been completed throughout Game of Thrones. Well, let's say throughout House of the Dragon so far. It's Sir Christian. I love Sir Christian's story. Shout out to the actor. I believe his name is Fabian. He did an amazing job at portraying Sir Christian and what they had written for him and stuff like that. But yes, they did an amazing job, in my opinion, with Sir Christian's character. He did most of the things he mostly did in the books. So yeah, that's probably why he is probably one of my favorite character arcs so far in House of the Dragon. This is a man that came from nothing. He said House Cole was established from a minor house itself, and they didn't really have a castle. They didn't really have a huge keep or something like that. They were stewards of Lord Dondarrion. But this is a man that came up fighting his whole life, earned his way into the King's Guard. But when he got into the court lifestyle, he got to see how crooked and how shady things can be, and how people say they hold on to these oaths and stuff like that, but that shit really doesn't matter when you have the princess of the realm and the next queen of the realm trying to get you to break your oaths and spoil your white cloak and stuff like that when she's trying to seduce you into her bedroom. Again, that's his choice to go in there well and have sex with Rhaenyra. So, but from his point of view, he also thought this was more than just a one-night stand. He thought this was something that a bond they grew. Like we seen in season one, they were spending a lot of time with each other on the road, going to these castles and seeing Rhaenyra just being bored, sitting there hearing these sorry speeches from these old suitors and very young suitors, people that she doesn't want to be involved with in a marriage at all. But here's so Christian Cole that she's laughing with, making her smile. She's spending all this time with. Starts sleeping with him. Starts to sleep with him, and when they get to a certain point where they spend so much time with each other, you got to that point where you feel like, oh, we got a bond. Maybe I can marry her. Maybe we should run out together. Maybe this is real love. Like, F the white cloak. Like, F all the rules and the honors and, oh, I got to get married for this political reason and stuff like that. No, let's marry for love. Run away together and marry for love. Let's be real, Rhaenyra. Let's be free. But no, Rhaenyra didn't see it like that. That was just somebody that she was screwing and having a good time with, somebody she wasn't really taking that serious as Sir Christian was taking the situation as serious as he was. So to get scorned by that and feel like, oh, she just used me up, I'm a fucking puppet to you, like I'm only your whore, that's all I'm good for. Like, I can dirty my white cloak for you, but if I decide if I want to put away this white cloak and say fuck this and actually love you for real and let's get married and run off, that's a fairy tale. I'm not good enough for that. I'm only good enough to just fuck you in the backgrounds, in the shadows, like Harwin did. Again, some men would love that. I would not. Let's be for real. I would not fucking a fucking princess of the realm or the queen of the realm and be the nigga in the background. But hey, a lot of men don't want that. Not everybody is the same. That's something that people gotta realize. This is a different universe where you still have people that live in these fairy tale situation of what love is and stuff like that. So Christian was very young in that point in his life, and he is in the perfect fairy tale moment where he is the white knight of this princess and her protector, and they have a love flame. So of course he thinks this is gonna end up with him riding off into the sunset, being with Rhaenyra forever, and for her to just scorn him like that, to say, no, you just my fuck buddy, you just my whore. Like, yeah, of course, he is going to feel some type of way. He's going to be mad about that. And to move on further, to be pressured by Allison, just to get things out of him, just to have an advantage over on Rhaenyra. He being pressured in the room just because he's so close to Rhaenyra, and to the point that he folded and stuff like that. Again, you can blame Sir Christian, but you can also look at it from the way this guy is under a situation where if he gets found out about that he is sleeping with the princess of the realm, he gets found out he is sleeping with anybody, he can lose his white cloak, get gilded, sent to the wall, or just lose his fucking head. But you have later on, and well, even in that episode where Sir Christian gets taunted by these High Lords, they think it's a game. Joffrey and Laenor laughing at him like, oh, I wonder which one she's banging. So, oh, look at that one, he's cunt drunk. He said, oh, maybe let me just go talk to him and, let him know what the real is. Oh yeah, I'm fucking Laenor and you fucking Rhaenyra. Let's keep this all under the wraps, and haha, this is so funny. This is stuff we laugh about. This is stuff we play about all the time. But this is nothing to fucking play about when it is Sir Christian Cole in his situation where he can be killed if this shit is found out about. If people are just joking about this at a fucking party where it can be heard and shit like that. Like, no. Like, no. Like, when you come up to him and say stuff like that, his just heart is going to start beating like, I have been found out about. I am going to lose my life. I need to be guilted or sent to the wall for doing something that I thought was in my heart. I actually liked and loved right now. But yeah, now I'm gonna be in this situation where people are got this information against me and stuff like that. So you see why he beat the shit out of Joffrey. I never blame Sir Christian for that situation. Yes, it was thuggish, it was brutalish, but you gotta understand his situation. If he get found out about, the nigga is gonna die or he gonna lose his fucking cock. He doesn't even have to sleep with nobody else. That nigga want to pee regularly. Like, goddamn. He can at least want to fucking shoot out one of the White Towers every now and then. So, yes, it's been this whole story of Sir Christian has been helpless. He has been used up against these High Lords. Hallison using Sir Christian to get information about Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra using Sir Christian as just a love flame. Not even a love flame, just a tool to hump on. And him and his background, his past, him just being a steward, being able to fight in some other lord's war and stuff like that. Being looked down upon against all the knights and lords of the realm when he's the superior fighter, but they look down upon him because he is from superior birth. Just to have this last moment and to go out on his last term, his last death march, and the story of Sir Christian is something I really love throughout Game of Thrones. Him being pumped up and given power by Aegon, a lot of that going to his head. Him also just not being a dummy when it comes to the battlefield. I don't think he's the best hand of the king, but best Lord Commander, one of the best Lord Commander ever. Got a lot of glory. Took a few castles, took about two castles, took about 2-3 castles. So yeah, he got some successful resume as a commander in this army. So yes, he did not have that glorious ending as he wanted it to be, but hey, he did make a big impact on this war. It's the reason they call him the Kingmaker. And R.I.P. to the Kingmaker. Wonderful character, wonderful actor, wonderful writing for this character. They did an amazing job. So hey, and I will always love his Shakespearean talk about the horrific warfare and the times that they was in, and something that's gonna be missed. Something that's gonna be missed. But R.I.P. Sir Christian. But with him dead, we saw the rest of the Butcher Ball. Something I probably wanted to see a little more of. As a book fan, because I feel like it was a lot of interpretation of what you could do in that type of scene, and type of a scary type of way, a very gruesome way. And we know this show did not shy away from gruesome violence at all. We saw multiple men at a table being disemboweled last episode. So I was just hoping, from not even a book fan, I was just like, from a fan of this show, from a fan of the book, I was just hoping for a little more of the Butcher's Ball. And not like a 20-minute battle scene, because not a 20-minute battle scene. I was just hoping to see, I like my dark fantasies now, so I was just hoping to see a few men die in some gruesome ways, in some horrific ways. There's a Butcher's Ball. Let's chop up a few of these motherfuckers. Let's put some swords where some holes, and let's make some new holes and put some swords there. Let's do some fucking dark shit. This is the Butcher's Ball. Like, if we ever gonna go too far, this is the chance to go too far. But I believe back to King's Landing way, we still have problems in the city. Daemon wanting revenge for his army, and yeah, basically like that. Yeah, basically. Daemon wanting revenge for the gold cloaks is very understandable. This is men we saw that is Damon's closest allies. Have we seen Damon spend any time with any other friends or people of his, like, let's say, stature or age range? It's been the gold clothes. It seemed like people he spent some years with, bonded with. We seen him spend time with him in season 1 when he had those orgies with him. He's the one that gave him those gold cloaks, and he even took him to Dragonstone when he took over Dragonstone just to be a brat towards Viserys and stuff like that. So these are men that have spent years with Daemon. Not all of them. We do have our new members. The gold clothes, just with like any army, any policing type of unit or anything like that, you're gonna have new recruits. Not everybody's gonna remain a gold cloaks from years. Some of them gonna die from old age. Some of them gonna retire. Like, let's be for real here. Damon is technically, he should be 50, 60 years old in this like universe, in this TV universe, especially with when they age the actors up from the books and stuff like that. He was still old as hell in the books. Like, let's be for real, yeah. So yeah, a lot of those men that he grew a bond with got fucking murdered last episode. So I'm happy that he was able to show some emotion and want some type of revenge and wanted some type of justice. Like, yeah, I understand. I need to go out in the field. That will be handled. Daemon, trust me, Daemon Targaryen understands he needs to go out in the field and participate in draconic warfare. He understands that right there, but like, he needs justice for his men. We saw what happened after that. Them not getting paid, them getting targeted, led to a lot of them quitting, resigning from the City Watch, and us not having a lot of men to protect the people in the city, protect us from the people in the city, the hostile people in the city. This is still a civil war and a wartime, so we still got hostiles in the city. We still got, as we see the name of the episode, we still have threats lurking that we don't know about, and we need as much guards and protection as we can get. We didn't arrive here with a huge army. As see at the end of the episode, we ain't finna have a huge army coming here to send us more aid. So yeah, what is we finna do? They still trying to figure out the Tumbleton situation and trying to see what they're gonna do there. It's not really a lot they can do into that situation until their army arrive. I do appreciate them giving updates. It's something you gonna do every day if you have a new council meeting. Where's the army progress today? Where's their location? They got any ravens for them to track their progress and stuff like that? So I appreciate that, but yeah, not really a lot new. Just with the Tumbleton situation, not really a lot new to do. But to say keep them under siege and keep an eye out, see if the army marches out or something like that. But till then, there's nothing you can do but keep them under siege with 2 dragons outside their gates. Well, 1 dragon at a time. Rhaenyra talking with the Baratheons and having them murdered. That's a tough thing. That's a tough situation. She's doing a lot of trickery now. We've seen Rhaenyra in the past more up front with her attacks and her strategies of what to do in a battle and stuff like that. But since Lord Ormond had been playing these mind games with her, been playing these Southern High Lord Game of Thrones tricks with her, she's starting to trying to do the same in her situations by sending stinky men dressed as Baratheons to treat with Lord Ormond to kill them and stuff like that. I don't know if she killed these guys or they are just in prison, but she did do some trickery and some shady shit, and it did not play out as well. They killed nobody useful on the green side when they went for that mission. So yeah, that was kind of a mission wasted. And with the Alicent situation, is that gonna be another mission wasted and another guard or a knight wasted or given a valuable hostage off like Alicent to Aemon Targaryen? Yeah, she can't breed anymore. Well, the way Aemon feeling, she might be able to breed some fucking more Targaryen children. So that, yeah, that's not a good idea to send Alicent off that Harren Hall. That's not a good idea at all. If I was Alicent, I would have told her right now, that nigga is weird. He is gonna fucking keep me there. He's gonna cut down that nigga. That one motherfucker you gonna send with him, and yeah, he's gonna keep me. And yeah, I don't know how that situation is gonna play out. But yeah, that was kind of shady, right? It was not good of Rhaenyra. She killed those guys just to steal their armor to do this plan with it. Hopefully, she just imprisoned them. I don't think they're not gonna donate their armor just to do this plan, because they are not really on Rhaenyra's side in this situation. So it's one of those great situations. It's a war, so hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. At least it wasn't a fucking kid this time, the assassins they sent. They didn't kill a kid. Well, Darren is kid-ish, but at least it's a teenager. At least it's a nigga that can hold a sword and defend himself. I really want to talk about most of the Daemon plotline because it really sums it up with Rhaenyra and what's really going on in the city, and talk about Off with him as well because those plot lines really connect with each other. Let's talk about Off first. He's been talking with Hugh how he has been feeling, he's been feeling like he's been treated like a piece of shit. He doesn't feel like he's properly been rewarded for the situation and the circumstances that he's in. Like, he's claimed the dragon to be on the queen's side, but what's really what comes with being a dragon lord? What comes with being a knight? What comes with being one of the most useful tools of the queen's army? Not being able to hang out with my friends, not getting the castle, getting treated like shit by Daemon. So yeah, from his situation, you can see why he is depressed and he's been bickering and stuff like that, and he went out to get some freedom. But I just feel like Rhaenyra needs to treat the dragon riders more better because they are one of the most useful tools of her fucking army. This is a dragon warfare. If we don't treat our dragon riders right and they say, fuck you, I'm not burning people today, or fuck you, I'm going to this side, or fuck you, I'm doing my own thing now, it's not going to be very beneficial in our favor. So even Damon need to check himself. Like, as much as I love the TV, the drama aspect of Damon treating Oath like shit, and it leads to good drama and stuff like that. But yeah, from a realistic standpoint, you don't need to be slapping around a dragon rider. But I'll talk about that more later. But with Daemon, him being the type of guy that want to get revenge and be the one on the front line getting some type of revenge in some type of situations like this, and especially when it's so personal and close to him. Like I said, spend so much time with these guys, he's going to get some revenge. But when he returns to, I guess, is the commanding offices or the commanding guard building for the gold close commanding office and stuff. And he gets there and he sees that the gold close reinstate. You can tell that hurt him, that crushed him, and after that he really had to see like I gotta lock in, I gotta do something about this. Even if my life is in danger, you know, Daemon Targaryen don't give a fuck about his life being in danger. That's why it was a perfect person to go out there and find out what the fuck was going on. It did lead to a dead end, but it kind of did lead to some answers if you can read the title of the episode. Okay, Daemon Targaryen always does sneaky missions. I wish he could have. Only complaint about this time. He could have hid the hair a little better. You see everybody dyeing their hair this season. Hey, Daemon, you can dye your hair, nigga. Everybody know fucking blind nigga walking around town. You know the silver haired Targaryen nigga that's walking around fucking town, nigga. That's the only thing they could have. That's the only flaw about that situation. It is the aspect of Daemon that he will dress up and go decoy to do some things, but I wish they could have hid him a little better. You know, get him a full mask, like not a mask. Give him a full helmet, like a full helmet right there with a visor and stuff, like a full face visor. But yeah, Daemon got boots on the ground and did figure something out that it was a guy that was the guy that was part of the Green's household knights and guards. But the way he explained it, it might also be Ormond that has hired the Faceless Men to do some damage in the city. But it's a big debate about that, because in my opinion, if you do hire the Faceless Men, this episode is the Faceless Men, so I guess they are involved in some situation. But if they are involved, why not hire the Faceless Men to take out a dragon rider, take out somebody with a lot of command, like somebody on the small council, or take out another one of the heirs like Joffrey, or take out the queen herself, or maybe, I don't know, maybe that's too expensive. Maybe this is part of Ormond's plan that he rather gather ruckus in the city, because you know he just pays for one kill, for a very expensive kill, probably for a Targaryen or something like that, or a high-ranking officer or a high-ranking council member, that's going to be very expensive to keep doing them. To keep doing that, because you kill one, you got to buy it again. Okay, I kill right now. Most likely, Daemon Targaryen just gonna take over, or again, he is still gonna be in charge until Joffrey gets older. If they go for Rhaenyra, if we go for Daemon, we still got Rhaenyra to deal with, who's a dragon rider herself. So better to spread the chaos within the city, to remove all the protection from them, to make them more vulnerable. I guess that is a smart idea. But again, why not go for the bigger targets? Okay. So yeah, like you said, there's no end to this. I don't think torturing this guy would have got any more information out of him, because the words that he was saying, the way he was describing, like, if you kill me, another one just gonna pop up, this never ends, people will never accept her. It also makes me want to think, this is just a dedicated man to the high towers, or is this just a faceless man, because him saying it doesn't matter if you kill me or kill some more people, I'm a faceless man, another faceless man is gonna pop up. We've seen jacking her god, the way he can change faces, they can be somebody else and stuff like that. So yeah. Very, very tricky. I wonder. I'm still thinking about what the Faceless Man plot and what they got to do with this episode. I know it's supposed to be the guard that Damon kills in that alley, but it just made me so confused on why not. Why would he be so dedicated to say, we would never accept her and stuff like that? Why would he give a fuck about saying something like that if he was a faceless man dying like that? He wouldn't give a fuck to say that if he was a faceless man. He's just here for the bounty, like, yo. Let's say somebody on the black side hired the faceless man. They would do the same thing for Rhaenyra's side. Like, they would, and when they get caught in the finna die or something like that, they wouldn't say, we would never accept Darren, we would never accept Aegon. Like, no, they don't give a fuck. It's just bounty hunters. Let's just be for real here. They don't give no fuck about them. Yes, it is some theories of the past. I don't even want to go into. I'll be talking about an hour of how they, theoretically kind of got a little beef. But yeah, I'll be talking about that for an hour. But that wasn't a very satisfying moment for Damon. Yes, he did kill the guy, but all that anger did not go away with that kill because of what that guy said. Like, people just gonna keep popping up. Damon even said the last episode, people are not gonna accept you, Rhaenyra. You can get a lot of people to accept you, but people are still gonna pop up and not accept a woman as their ruler. It's just the Westerosi society. You can threaten them with violence all you want, but they, as we see, as Lord Ormond and a lot more of these lords, like Lord Baratheon, him just faking and posing this whole fucking war, talking about he's fighting some fucking Vulture King and the Dornish Marshals. Like, yeah, right. You is the only one that has got word that there is a fucking battle going on in the Dornish Marshals between the fucking Stormlanders and the fucking Vulture King. This is a quiet war. I guess there's nobody talking about this. Okay, yeah, sure. But yeah, with Damon not getting that satisfaction, him taking it out on off, it's something I just don't agree with. Yes, I love it as seeing it as the character Daemon Targaryen. Yes, this is something he would do if he see a disobedient person like Oath just wandering around in the streets after he's been given command not to do this. But still, this is not one of the gold cloaks. This is not a guard or a soldier of House Targaryen. This is not a peasant of the Crown Lands or a peasant on Dragonstone or something like that. This is a goddamn dragon rider, and you need to watch how you treat these people, Damon. But that's pretty much all with the Daemon Targaryen plotline for this episode. Might as well talk about Adam now. I'm happy to see that he is starting to voice his opinion and embrace himself more. This is a character that's always had to live in the shadows because he doesn't want, he's a very honest, prideful person, and he doesn't want the easy way by people giving him the easy route just for him being a bastard of Lord Corlys. He also doesn't want people to treat him unfairly because he is a bastard of Lord Corlys, and he's been stuck in that mindset for so long, or trying to bow his head and not trying to do the things that he liked, the things that he want, and the things, to be honest, that's best for him and not others, and not his father's pride and stuff like that. So very happy to see that he is getting more of those scenes to express himself, like him talking to his father, telling his father like, "Come on, bro, you need to get over this petty bullshit and stuff like that." Because he's always, well, since last season, the end of last season, he's been more vocal with his father. But very happy that he has this bond with his father now, where he can be more open and expressive with him and letting him know, like, yeah, Rhaenyra may have dissed us and did us wrong, but it's no reason to turn our cloak or to pout forever. We still a part of this realm. You think the fucking Greens gonna spare us when this shit is over with, nigga? No. These the same people that killed your fucking wife, Corlys. So yeah, we all know Corlys, let's be real, yeah, he ain't finna turn his cloak. What he is doing is necessary. Somebody needs to be out there hunting down these pirates and setting an example and showing these motherfuckers like, yeah, y'all just can't be on these land no more looting and taking prisoners and raping and putting people to the sword and stuff like that. So, but I think, does the hand of the king need to be that person on that mission? No, he does not need to be the person on that mission. But I also love the scene with him and Baylor, them opening up with each other and her recognizing the good deeds and Adam, because that's something everybody like. Everybody loves an honest person. Yes, we love our toxic characters for TV shows and movies and stuff like that, but in reality, we don't want to hang with none of them motherfuckers. They annoying as hell. We want to hang with a nigga like Adam that's, you know, level-headed, that thinks about things, that does the right thing in life. So it makes sense why Baylor would be attracted to him and stuff like that. But also happy that he was able to give in and express himself and return that kiss and to give in to that lovely moment, because, like I said, this is a guy that has expressed that he has wanted anything. Only thing that he expressed that he wanted is his father to acknowledge him, and for him to finally get a little bit of ecstasy out, a little bit of that lust out, a little bit of himself out. I'm just happy to see that. I feel like some of my favorite scenes of this episode was the stuff at Tumbleton with the Hightowers, with Gwaine and Orman and Darren and stuff like that. I really love those scenes. I love seeing the type of dynamic that Gwaine and Darren had. You can see that good cop, bad cop, good parent, bad parent type of situation. When you see these two and the impact that they have had on this young man, Darren. You can see this episode, Darren laughing at some of Orman's cruel jokes, japes towards his cousin, his dear sweet cousin, Gwaine. The way Gwaine looked at Darren like, that's weird, that's new, like, you really letting this nigga rub off on you, huh? And happy that they acknowledged that to each other, because, well, I'm happy Gwaine acknowledged that, like, you kind of changed and he's kind of starting to rub off on you. But Darren said, yeah, motherfucker, I'm a child and there was nobody else here to protect me. We seen this nigga lash out. If I stand up to myself, if I stand up for myself in any type of way, this nigga is going to go in a violent rage, and I don't want to be on the end of that violent rage. I also love to see the dynamic between Gwaine and Orman. They put it off as a very family dynamic. Look, let's be for real. Some of us all know we got a few asshole family members, asshole cousins, and things like that. But does that make us stop loving them? Does that make us stop talking to them? Does that make us stop trying to reason with them? No, it doesn't. And you can tell Gwen has always been the level-headed one and trying to be the one that's like, okay, enough of the bullshit, my cousin. Well, let's be for real here. What's the plan? What are we doing? I know we ain't beefing for real here. You can have your little tissy fit all you want, but I know you ain't finna hurt me for real, nigga. Let's be for real. I know that you are the type of person that will put family first. We've seen that. He's always preaching to Darren, like, the Hightower blood is more important than anything that matters. Even more of that goddamn dragon blood in your boy. But yeah, happy to see that dynamic and to see that Gwen is a very, very useful tool to this army. And Orman is a very, very smart person, just to not send off his cousin to Old Town and to try to keep him there and stuff like that. But to see how useful he has become and the experience he's gained since he's been fighting alongside Sir Christian in these wars and battles and stuff. Well, these battles, it's still a war. It's only one war. Yeah, happy that they just not bumbling evil, I hate you all the time villains. We got some deep tissue, we got layers, we got great layers and character development with these villains, these quote unquote bad guys. And Orman saying that Gwen was so useful, calling out those assassins to get Darren, saying how useful he was in a situation like that, and he would want to keep somebody like that around. It's not a lot of guards you can keep around all the time when you are doing political meetings and like they had there. Like only a few lords and a few close guards, house guards, can be around in some specific meetings when you're talking about stuff. So having Gwen around, a cousin, a family member that's always gonna be there to protect you and protect Darren's in his best interest, because Gwen's just not gonna turn his cloak against his family. No matter. That's what I love about Gwen. Just because he's on the wrong side of this war, he's just not gonna turn his cloak and bend the knee to fucking Rhaenyra. He's a good guy overall. He's just on the wrong fucking side. And just because he's on the wrong fucking side doesn't mean, oh, I'm good. I'm good-hearted. I'm finna go fight for Rhaenyra. No, that's corny. That doesn't make sense at all. That's not reality. Think about how many bad decisions your family members and stuff like that have made, and you back them up on it. Doesn't mean you're evil. Doesn't mean you're a terrible person and stuff like that. Just like, that's your family. That's stuff you're gonna do. You're always gonna defend the person you're closest to. So yeah, really loving the stuff that is coming out of Tumbleton, but I feel like it won't be lasting for that long. With Hugh and his wife situation, it's a very complex situation. Cause it's one of those Game of Thrones moments. You're just gonna have to look at it from some people's point of view and the other person's side. Let's start with Cass. From Cass' point of view, she is not gonna abandon her family after the man of the house was just murdered, and just leave a single mother here to raise these kids alone. To do what? To fly off the well, to be not happy and not with my family in a rich lord's house and stuff like that. Like, no. For her POV, after what happened, she would want to stay there with her family, even though it is a tough situation. But from her point of view, yes, if I do flee with you, nigga, all my family is not finna get on Vermithor. I don't think dragons work like that, everybody. From what I've seen from the show and from the books and stuff like that, only people that have been on Dragon back with Dragon Riders is loved ones, people that are in an intimate relationship with, like a wife or a concubine. It doesn't matter. Somebody they banging if you want to keep it simple, or family members, close family members, like their children and stuff like that. But a full family that's not even related to Hugh, for real. There's no relation to Hugh. I don't think that dragon's gonna let all of them up on Vermithor is not gonna just allow that shit. I'm not a fucking magical school bus nigga. We are not going on no great adventure. I take your bitch along and your kids, but those not your kids, and that other woman you're not related to her. So I don't think dragon binding and riding works like that. From what I've seen in the show and the books, you got to be some type of intimate or blood related other person if you want to get up there and fly with them. Even if you want to say, yeah, like I just can't call no other moment where a person that was riding with a dragon rider wasn't in an intimate relationship or related to them, like, at all. I guess you can talk about Game of Thrones season 8 behind the wall and they gathered up and flew off on Daenerys, but let's not even talk about them bad seasons. Let's not add that to our Game of Thrones logic. So all I want to say is, from her point of view, it looked like no way she can't leave this situation and leave this city without abandoning the rest of her fucking family, her nieces and nephews and stuff like that. And her sister-in-law, her grieving sister-in-law that's a single mother now. Like, yeah, that would kind of be bogus, in my opinion, just to abandon them like that, especially in a dangerous situation. Like, oh, I'm finna go fly off the safety now, but dear niece, dear nephews, and dear nieces and nephews, and sister-in-law, good luck, everybody else. But I can also see it from Hugh's situation. You would most definitely take your wife out of that goddamn city if you could by force. Even Hugh tried to do it by force, but he knew he couldn't do it without making a big fuss and getting both of them caught. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're a boyfriend, a husband. It doesn't matter if you are in a relationship with somebody. If you see that loved one in a dangerous situation and you have the opportunity to sneak them out and to guide them and to rescue them and to lead them to safety and stuff like that, and they turn you down, you would be like, what the fuck? Like, bitch, is you crazy? Again, from Hugh's situation, he don't give a fuck about them, her nieces and nephews that he probably never met before. He don't give a fuck about that what his sister-in-law or her sister-in-law. He don't give a fuck about that woman. He cares about his fucking wife, and he wants his fucking wife to get out of that hostile ass city. But yeah, he had to come to reality that it was one of those situations where it was too late. She has been through a lot on this journey to Tumbleton. She has been through a lot at Tumbleton. And right now, she just want to hold together the closest family bond she has, and that's consistent with her. And that's the family she got right now in Tumbleton. Whether she's just supposed to wait in this castle alone and just wait for Hugh forever when he flies off into another battle and stuff like that and be alone. Yeah, she's going to want to stay with family. I know the good life is always tempting, but I'm just happy to see somebody stick with their family for once. So yeah, I really love they saying, was it dangerous of Hugh to do to sneak into a city and abandon his dragon? Yes. But plot wise and the reason for doing it wise, it's understandable. That's a husband, again, trying to save his wife. Trying to see before I shoot off to anything else. I'm going to talk about the one scene, I guess, with Aegon, Tywin, and Larys. I feel like, in my opinion, the reason Aegon was asking Tywin or Tylan, I be getting them mixed up, my bad, it's one or two. He be asking the Lannister boy Tywin, let's go with Tylan. Is Tylan? He asked him that question because he wanted to see, was this an honest person with him or not. And tough times like this, you would actually want to see, do you have an honest person with you, a person that can be real, a person that's just not looking out for their best interest and to keep their tongue quiet, even though it's probably going to get us into some dangerous situations or something like that. And the reason he asked him that, do you think I'm a good man, is the most basic question ever, especially when you have somebody under you that's serving under you and stuff like that, because everybody that's a leader wants to know, are they doing good, are they leading their people into betterness, and are they a good person at heart, and they are, even though if they are failing, they are trying their best and they have a good heart and at the things they are trying to do, even if they are failing at attempt to do stuff like that. And Aegon, from the dressing down he got from Larys, understood that Larys is a person that lives in reality and told him the truth about himself and is not going to sugarcoat anything. So when Larys told Aegon, you are a horrible monster, you are a piece of shit, Aegon like, you are right. So when you are saying, we need to get back to this castle, we need to take this boat and get to safety, I guess I should be listening to you, because you ain't sugarcoating it. You are telling the truth. Like, you're not just trying to kiss my ass and get a favor. You are being 100% honest with me to the point you feel like a fucking friend. That's what friends do. They are honest with you. But yeah, I feel like that was the main reason he was testing. He was just testing Tylan there. Helena, I feel so bad for Helena being pregnant and cramped up and under being a prisoner under Rhaenyra's rule. Cause it's not a choice of hers at all, as she said in this episode. She didn't want to marry one of her brothers. This is something that she was forced into doing by Alicent and Otto and stuff like that. So her marrying her brothers had led to her being in this situation, being such under distress, and her baby being targets in this war. She just can't be a simple mother, just having a simple pregnancy and having a very calm, simple life. Pregnant women need to be calm when they are pregnant, or it could lead to a miscarriage and horrible things happen. We've seen it already in this show with Rhaenyra when she was under a stressful situation when she found out her father died and they stole her crown, and it led to a miscarriage. You can say that baby was dragon scaled and it wasn't going to work out well for her if it did lead to a 9-month pregnancy and stuff like that. But hey, stress is just not good for anybody, especially pregnant women. And her marrying her brothers led to every kid that she pops out is going to be a target especially the boys. It's because the people that are supporting the Greens are gonna prop up any Targaryen boy that comes from Helena and Aegon. So yeah, I wish Helena did get married from somebody else where she could just live the simple life and her kids not being in danger all the time and stuff like that, because it's leading to her being very, very stressed out. She's a pregnant woman that's not eating. She's a pregnant woman that's doing body harm with herself when she's poking a needle into herself and stuff like that. So she is feeling numb inside, and she is being cramped up in her room under prison. She has no freedom to the Kingswood. She has no freedom even to the walk around the castle or anything like that. I just wish the best for characters like that, because Helena is truly innocent in all of this. She has killed or murdered no one. She has made no command that was purely evil. She's not even been a part of this politics or this war. She is a victim. She has been a victim of her family ever since she's probably been married to Aegon. So, yeah. I just feel bad for the good characters. You only get a few good characters in this show right here. So when you see one of those people starting to break down and have very suicidal tendencies and stuff like that, it just makes you sad. Makes you sad. Because you only want the best for Elena. You want Elena to live free and be the bug girl, experiment and explore all these bugs that she loves to be out in nature and things like that. So her being cramped up in her room is hell on earth for Elena. Trying to see. The Rhaenyra and Alicent stuff is the stuff I was talking about when I say I have problems with the other half of this episode. Like, half was good, half wasn't. And that's one of them I was talking about. I feel like so many people, it's not only me, I'm just so sick of them trying to, their scenes together. It's not bad acting, it's not none of that. It's not the actress's fault or the actor's fault. It's the writing fault, because they have nothing for them to do, and there are two main characters of this show and get most of the main villains for this show. And it's really nothing for them to do but to have them do dumbass missions and have pointless dialogue and somehow still be friends and cordial with each other when both of them are doing horrific and horrible things towards each other's family members and stuff like that. And it's just a very, very stupid, not understanding dynamic. Everybody is waiting for them to get to the part like they was in the first season, that fucking Driftmark, when Alicent had the dagger and they was cursing each other and shit like that. Everybody's been wanting more of that. We thought the whole world was gonna be more of that, but it went backwards into them being cordial friends again. You tell me, Rhaenyra is somehow involved, you can say, and let's just put it like this: Rhaenyra's side is involved in Alicent's grandson being murdered in his fucking bed. That would drive anybody to be like, fuck you, I'm not your friend anymore. Alicent's son, Aemon, killed Rhaenyra's son, Lucerys, in the fucking air on Dragonbat. Jumped the nigga. They munched the nigga. Ate him. She could only find parts and clothes of the nigga, not a whole body. And she still is not like, fuck you, Alicent. I fucking hate you. Rhaenyra can kill Allison's fucking father. You can say what you want about the type of father Otto was, but he may have pushed her into a relationship with this older man. Of course, that's something you would hate your father forever over. But again, I feel like that's something some people would say fuck your best friend over when they kill your father, no matter the situation, how much, what type of feelings you have against your father. They're still your fucking father, Allison. Rhaenyra left you an orphan, like, and you are still not like, fuck Rhaenyra. I fucking hate her. When are we gonna get to that point where they're like, fuck you, I fucking hate you, I fuck them bastard kids of yours? And Allison Rhaenyra's like, fuck them crazy ass kids of yours. You birthed a rapist and a motherfucker. Like, when are we gonna get to that situation? When are we gonna have that Dragonstone moment? That fucking Driftmark moment again. It's like so many people have died that's important to them around them, that's related to the other character, and they somehow still keeping this cordial relationship where they are making dumbass plans like Rhaenyra sending Allison off with a guard to go kill her son. That's a dumbass fucking idea. I don't care, in universe, strategic wise, I don't care. That's dumb as shit. Why would you send the mother of the son you are trying to kill to go help kill the nigga? I don't care. That plotline's been stupid since last season. I hate they kept it. Allison being so involved with the downfall of her family is just fucking insane to me. I don't care if they push you out of politics. Why would you want to see your kids be killed? That's just one thing I just hate about them. I hate about this show is just them just being so cordial with each other, and them being somehow still having this friendly vibe with each other. And we see how they can argue. We see them get heated at each other. We see the potential these characters, these actresses can do, and what they could perform if they could actually hated each other, was mad at each other or something, instead of them coming in each other's rooms like teenagers, like, why did you knew this all along and you didn't tell me? You going with them. Like, no, like, come on. That's like, fuck you, bitch. Like, you knew what? Like, to the black sails or some shit. When are we gonna get them to finally cut this shit off? Like, the greatest enemy is somebody you was close with. That's the greatest enemy of all time. And they are two main characters who are on different sides of the war, but are still cordial with each other. I know I've been saying that, but let's just move on. There's just something I hated. Something I also hated was Lord Corlys' army being surrounded. It makes no fucking sense. He's been out here fighting pirates for what? Few days, few weeks, and this nigga don't got fucking spotters. He don't got nobody on watch. He don't got fucking outriders and shit like that. Like, you telling me the hand of the king is lacking in the woods? Everybody in his little army is just around this fire, not keeping watch. It's all over. You are under a war. It doesn't matter. You still have green loyalists on both sides. Everybody is not under the yoke of Rhaenyra. You still have broken men and bandits is probably on the green side, and probably would like to take on and kidnap the hand of the king. So why wouldn't you have people watching out? It just doesn't make sense. It makes the character look dumb just to get him in a position of being kidnapped. And I feel like Lord Corlys is not a dumb commander at all. He's had experience leading armies. He's not just finna leave himself to get caught like that. It doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, other than that, those are two big gripes I have with this episode in general. What I want to say is my favorite episode of this season. I do have some of my favorite episodes, some of my favorite moments in this episode. So yeah, still just not my favorite episode of this season. Not because of It's just those two things that I called out. Just the continuation of Rhaenyra and Allison um, being these low key friends with each other behind closed doors. Just enough of that. Just fucking enough of that. And with the Lord Corliss, a very experienced battle commander being snuck up on in the middle of the night doesn't make sense. I don't care if it's night. If he was just with one person out in the middle of the night and they got snuck up on him, yes, this makes sense. But this nigga is with an army that's been fighting out here. Yes, some people can say, oh, they are driven back the pirates, they have rooted them away towards the sea. They even mentioned some of that in this episode, but still, this is hostile times. Why wouldn't you have somebody on watch duty? I didn't even get a chance to talk about the Aemon and Alice Rivers plotline. Love a lot of that because Alice is hooking her claws into Aemon, and I absolutely love it to the point she got this boy under her goddamn spell. She went the hero route like I talked about last episode. You know, every man want to be a hero, and she drove him into this hero moment where she looks so weak and defenseless and stuff like that. She needed her knight in shining armor. When we seen early in the episode, she really wanted to get rid of somebody she can. But here, her making a sacrifice to her dragon lord by killing the stable boy, and just to prove, like, here, see how loyal I am, see how much I would protect you and stuff like that. I would never hurt you, Aemon. I would even hurt the people that's trying to hurt you, which she keep kind of proving. And I feel like it's for real, because keeping Aemon alive is in her benefit right now. She can get what she actually wants out of Aemon, and that's Harrenhal and to rule and to do something, I don't know, it's evil or good for the realm. I don't know at this point. I just don't know, but I know it's something finna be very magical, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But yeah, even her just claiming him, she just took that nigga. It was no like slow progression about that we finna be getting married and having kids, or like, oh, I'm starting to get a bond with you and stuff like that. She did mention it was nice to get saved and stuff, but it was no sexual tension. I believe the lead up into the kiss, it was more like a potential of her, I'm claiming you, you are mine, you are going to do what I say type of tension when she kissed him and went in for the, yes, I'm going to have your dragon lord kids and stuff like that, and I have these eggs so our kids can be dragon riders, so we are going to build our own empire here in Black Heron's Hall. And I fucking love it. I love it. I love it. But is Aemon Targaryen the person you need to be teaching about these dark arts? It's already a wicked, evil motherfucker when it comes to the draconic ways. Now we have the magic. I feel like the old gods, and we have the draconic magic of old Valyria, the stuff that they learned, how to breed these dragons, how to hatch these dragons, how to put them under their command and bind them to them. We have both of this fire and ice and fire combined, and I love that. That was an ice and fire moment. And it made sense on where she got the dragon is from. The old king, Jaehaerys' sister, who had a very hard, rough life. In her later years, just went to go live in Harrenhal to get away from it all. Took her dragon, and the rest of the people of her small court took them with her, and they went to go live in Harrenhal. So, with Dreamfire being there all those years to the day of her death, makes sense that you know, that it would be some hatches. Well, it should be some clutches of dragon eggs at this castle. So yeah, happy they put a logical lore, realistic lore reason to have these dragon eggs. Where these dragon eggs hatch, where they had the time to hatch and stuff like that. Hey, I never know. But other than that, I feel like I've talked about most of everybody's plot line and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I am gonna get into the spoilers. If you do want to see full-length reactions, you can subscribe to my Patreon. That will be a big help. To see full-length reactions, everything is synced up over there on my Patreon. You don't even have to find your own footage. But if you want to hear about some spoilers and some book changes and some stuff I think gonna happen because of the books and stuff like that, you can stay tuned if you want to hear about spoilers. But it is spoilers, so beware. But other than that, thanks for watching. I'm gonna get into the spoilers. Spoilers, 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 spoilers. I want to talk about again Tumbleton. What's finna happen at Tumbleton now when Hugh's wife is still at Tumbleton, and I still don't get why he would betray Rhaenyra. After everything in this episode, of course, I can see why Ulf can be the one to, well, be one. I can see his reasoning of betraying Rhaenyra. I just can't see Hugh's reasoning for betraying Rhaenyra and burning down Tumbleton, because why would he do that and his wife is still in that city? It seemed like he would be one of the ones, a big advocate of having the soldiers march in that city and trying to get the people and save the people on the ground and not just burn the city. So I know him and his wife had an argument this episode, but it is not enough reasoning still to betray Rhaenyra and burn your wife alive in this city. I see if she moved on and had married another man in this city or something like that, and he got heartbroken and jealous and like, fuck everybody in this city, I'm burning it down with off. I can understand that. And again, when this city burns down, how is Ormond going to remove his whole army out of the city to only the peasants and the common folk of this city and the citizens of this small town and city in this castle or this city to get burnt down? It doesn't really make sense. Yeah, so like, how will Ormond get his army out of the city in time before it get burnt? Will he already have it outside of the city and be there with his army for when he, goes against Roddy the Ruin, and Roddy the Ruin kill him and kill Bo John Roston and stuff like that? But if the army is in the city, it would kind of be dumb for his plan, but to get them to burn the city and to lose so many men in this. It just doesn't. I'm just so confused on what would happen in Tumbleton. Again, I'm still confused. As we've seen, I guess Daemon will be at Tumbleton. What other battle is next besides Tumbleton? Daemon Targaryen will be at the Battle of Tumbleton. There's no other battle that is next for Daemon Targaryen to be at this season. Daemon will be at the Battle of Tumbleton. With Daemon and Khaleesi being at the Battle of Tumbleton, how would this play out? You think Daemon is just gonna let all his men burn to death because of the betrayers? You think he's gonna flee because the betrayers is burning the city? We've seen in the trailer shots. I always talk about trailer shots because it's worth talking about. It's not nothing that's been leaked. We seen in the trailer shots, Lord Corliss being in the burnt up city. We seen Damon talking to Lord Corliss, kind of in a not a burnt up city, but a city with fire in it and stuff like that. But what will they beat Orman's army, and will they beat Orman's army and just burn the river, like what's left of the river host after they win the first battle and stuff like that? Will they be like, now we betrayed since we got like Damon's army in the city, and we have no more of the Green's army in the city because they have been defeated? But what's left for the Greens to do? What other force is it for the Greens for the rest of the season? Well, for the last season, I know the last core force for the Greens is at Tumbleton. That's their last shining beacon. That's their last bit of hope, if you want to say. So yeah, I'm just very confused what's gonna happen at Tumbleton. That's something I cannot predict, and I feel like it's something that's gonna piss me off when it does happen, because I feel like it's something that I'm not gonna keep faithful towards the books. Of course, I've got over everything being 100% accurate towards the books, but even with the characters they have developed on the show, what, like, these characters wouldn't let Tumbleton happen, and the stuff that's building up towards Tumbleton, I don't see it playing out like it does in the books. So it seems like they are gonna put their own twist on Tumbleton, and that's probably why probably the big reason why George R. R. Martin was against this season, and probably was fucking pissed on what he probably read what was gonna happen. It is the snowball effects and shit like that. Because I can understand why him being pissed about the Nettles being cut and Raina getting Nettles plot line. Of course, every author is going to want their stuff 100% accurate. But as a fan of this show, I'm not really against it, because they still have been doing good in majority of the writing on the show. With the changes they have made from the Nettles. But with the Tumbleton, if it is finna be a big major change, I can see why he is probably pissed off, because I just don't see stuff playing out like it does in the book. If Carassis and Damon is finna be at the Battle of Tumbleton, because what is they gonna do? They gonna get involved. Carassis is not finna flee. Damon is not finna flee his army, his men. We see the way this nigga acted this episode, his vengeful way when he found out men that served under him has been wrongfully murdered. He is gonna do something about it. And let's be for real. Well, I don't even want to count Carassis out. Are they just gonna? I'm so confused about. I don't even want to predict no more about Tumbleton, because I'm so fucking confused about it. This is more and more it builds up to Tumbleton, the more and more I am confused. Yes, Oath is the only person I can see clearly of turning and having the book portrayal of what actually happened at Tumbleton. Everybody else that gets involved at Tumbleton, like Hugh, I don't understand his justification for getting involved in burning that city. Hugh the Hammer, I just don't see it. It has been shown that he is a very aggressive person and will harm people just to get ahead and to get things that he wants, like jacking this cartman, this guy on the road just to get in the city. Him beating up the guy last season for the food. So we do see this is a man that will use violence if he sees it as getting ahead in life. But I don't think that's enough justification as why he would burn a city with his fucking wife in it. um, Trying to see what else is a big change from the books. The Raina stuff, I still don't know what's the point of Raina being around. I'm not saying I don't want to see the actress, but from the book reader standpoint, what is it left for Raina to do? Like, for her to get treated like shit, she's not gonna have this epic moment where she rises and get acknowledged by the kingdom. Like, oh, we was wrong all along. We was wrong all along. We should have been looking towards Raina, like her having her mourning type of moment in the books and stuff like that. But yeah, I just don't know what's left for Raina to do. I know most likely she is going to get found out about, because what's the point of keep talking about, I'm going to get found out about, oh, you shouldn't be around here, you're going to get found out about. She's not going to get found out about. And that's probably going to be the reason why Damon runs off and distances himself to go do this final battle with Aemon in the Riverlands and stuff like that. But for Raina as the character, is getting something useful for that character and something for that character to gain out of this situation, it just seems like she's just being used as a pawn for the split between Daemon and Rhaenyra, and that's really the only reason Raina is around right now. I feel like still this could have been given to Nettles, or because now with how stuff playing out, I actually see Baylor being the one to get mourning at the end of this series. If she has her dragon fight with Aegon in the beginning of season 4 or something like that, and towards the end of this series, for the last episode, her arriving in King's Landing with the Valerian men and, you know, more people and stuff like that, I feel like would be a perfect thing to give that character, have her be the hope in the future of House Targaryen, since she has been the one that's been claiming she wants to be more dragon than sea. And for her to have the mourning plot line, I feel like would be perfect, just not to have this sad ending where she just, you know, she's just married off. And no, I know she loves her husband in the books, but I feel like when Baylor's dragon died, enough like that, her as being an interesting character also dies off as well too, because there's nothing really left for her to do besides find a bride for Aegon, her brother. But with her having mourning and her being a shining beacon and her being a hope at the end of this series, I would love that for her character. Because also in the books, I know we don't get into it, we don't have enough time to get into it in the books, because Fire and Blood Part 2 is not out, but being the type of character Baylor was in the books and stuff like that, this rebel character, I would feel like she would be the one that would go on the journey to go look for Silverwing, or at least try to go tame Silverwing. It seemed like she wouldn't be the person that's scared of dragons to go try to tame Silverwing. So her having mourning, in my opinion, would make up for some of that at the end, since they went with the twist of Raina not gonna have mourning. I feel like we need mourning. Mourning is, it just sums up everything about this series. You think everything is down, well, about Fire and Blood, you think everything is down in the dump for House Targaryen. All the dragons are dead, most of the dragon riders are dead. We are left with a boy king. The realm has been broken. We have beaten and battered men, and just to see this glance of hope at the end, seeing this beautiful pink dragon named Morning arrive at King's Landing, and these same people that was calling for the dragon's death and hacking them to pieces in the dragon pits had a smile on their face when they seen Morning. And I feel like that's something I want to see at the end of this series. It shouldn't be every dragon is dead. There should be some hope at the end of this. Some hope to let people know it ain't over. That these dragon lords will take to the sky one more time. Trying to see any other big changes. But the Coilers getting kidnapped, him being involved at Tumbleton. Why? Why? Do they need any other reason for Rhaenyra like not to attack Tumbleton? Like, this is a city under hostage. If they start marching their army into the city, if they start like threatening like the city with dragons, Lord Ormond is just gonna start killing the civilians. Like, oh, you wanna save these civilians? If you march this fucking army in here, I'm just gonna start killing the thousands of fucking hostages I already got. So why the fuck do they need Lord Corlys? I guess just to be another main character there at Tumbleton, because we're probably gonna lose so many other main characters at Tumbleton, like Ormond and mostly majority of the river hosts and stuff like that, and Winter Wolves, but a lot of them not main characters, so I guess they just won't want. But Gwaine should be there, because I feel like he is going to be the one that drinks the poison for Daron and poisons Ulf and get rid of Ulf and stuff like that. So again, I'm so confused about Thompson. I just don't want to keep repeating myself, so I'm just going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I feel like I'm going to think of more stuff as soon as we wrap this up, but thanks for watching, everybody. Can't wait to see y'all in the next episode of House of the Dragon. I feel like it's going to be that penultimate episode where something major and big is going to happen, because last season was the soaring of the dragons, where we had a big spectacle of dragons being on screen. Well, one dragon being on screen, burning people alive and eating them. But something major should happen next episode, most likely Tumbleton, and hopefully it plays out somewhat in the books, but I'm not predicting it. I don't want to get disappointed, so hopefully I'm hoping for a cool spectacle that don't lead the characters I know and love being changed so much so it's just no resemblance to Fire and Blood. Because if Daemon lets his army get burnt and he just pussies off away back to King's Landing on Caraxes, that's character assassination, nigga. Also, I did want to talk about more of Helena for book readers, because I do feel like they are going the suicide route with her plot line. Is not going to be her getting pushed into the spikes. I do feel like they are heading towards suicide when it comes to the death of Helena. Some people did hint towards suicide in the books, but majority of people hinted towards somebody pushing Helena, because it led to the falling of King's Landing, and it would make sense of somebody orchestrating that just to kick the people off, and that being the final straw for them, and that being the information that would get this shepherd to rile up the people to kill off the dragons and start this riot in the streets and stuff. But yeah, so I feel like people can still assume that route, with it being the queen Magor with tits having her as a prisoner. You can probably assume probably they also gonna kill that baby off that she has and do it like they did Maylor in the books. But yeah, I feel like they are going with the suicidal route in the show because her not eating, her self-harming herself with poking herself with needles is very a lot of hints towards a suicidal person, and her not having any freedom at all when we know Helena is a person who loves nature and want to investigate and play with her bugs and stuff like that. Her just seeing no point of Leah makes sense, and they are doing, in my opinion, building up to it and doing a solid job of laying the foundation of Helena committing suicide. But in my opinion, I would love to see a more intrigue part, like somebody who's plotting against Rhaenyra to push Rhaena, and for that to be the reason, the people of the streets get mad and go against Rhaenyra and stuff. But again, I can't blame the writing. They are doing a good job of showing why she would do this herself. Before I actually got it again, I'm just gonna scan through the episode to see if I missed anything that I want to talk about. Fucking hate this summer. I do not want the summer that never ends. Give me winter, goddammit. You've been seeing why I ain't been wearing full armor shit. It's been hot than a motherfucker. That's just a little rant right now while I look for anything else I haven't talked about in this episode. And with the Aemon and Vhagar separation, I kind of got mixed feelings on that because I love them showing how weak and useless Aemon feels and is without Vhagar, and how Vhagar is his only claim to glory and power. But I also love in the books how Aemon was just this teenager, this teenage terrorist going around the Riverlands setting keep and castles to the fucking torch and setting them ablaze on Vhagar, just going around being a fucking menace. And the show, they just playing it off like Vhagar's hungry, Vhagar off doing her own thing. Aemon's not the one burning all these castles on his own. They even set it up last season with him burning Sharp Point. I feel like, oh yeah, we finna go on this mission of Aemon burning all these castles in the Riverlands. I know they can't show a lot of them, but I at least thought he was going to be the one doing it in the Riverlands itself. I just don't like when they rely on the dragons always making the decisions to do big plot points and character moments and stuff like that. I love the dragons having personalities and having their own attitude like every animal does and stuff like that, but sometimes you gotta let the characters be the horrible people and make the horrible decisions instead of the dragons. It just can't be, oh my god, I accidentally killed Lucerys. It gotta be Aemon is going around torching these castles because he is angry and he's a fucking wild ass teenager with the biggest dragon in the world, and this is his game plan on how to get revenge and fighting this war. And it's also kind of a good battle plan in my opinion. If I can't rule it all, burn it all. He has no army, he has nobody to take over these castles. Sir Christian and his host is dead now, so he won't have any men on the ground to help him out in the Riverlands. So his only option, if he wants to keep fighting in this war, is very terroristic things to do. And I'm not here to to say to be advocating for terroristic attacks on Dragonback, but when you down in a war, you're gonna do things like that. Hey, don't sit on your high horse now, motherfuckers. So, in my opinion, him not having the ground army, him not having an army at all, him just being a nuisance to Rhaenyra and the Crown Lands was kind of a good idea. So the point where he had to draw out Daemon, he probably thought he was gonna kill Daemon and stuff like that, but um, he didn't. He fucking died. But yeah, I just wish Aemon was with Vhagar. We can still do all the stuff with Alice Rivers. Who the fuck is finna be going after this bounty when Vhagar is at Harrenhal ready to burn every motherfucker alive? I think we don't need that much secrecy and stuff when we have the biggest dragon in the realm. Some stuff sometimes people just won't fuck with you when you got a nuke in your backyard. I'm just saying. So yeah, hopefully next season we can get towards that. Him and Alice flying off from Harrenhal to burn some of these castles and put them to the torch. But from now, from what I heard from last episode, what I'm saying from this episode, just seems like Vhagar is off on her own, burning small villages and eating people and eating sheeps, just doing her own thing. And I pretty much don't like that. I don't like that at all. But other than, like, again, at Tumbleton, it's gonna be one of those reasons and choices. I hope they let the Dragon Riders make the decision of why they burned Tumbleton. And I hope it's just not one of those decisions of, oh my God, these dragons are out of control again. Oh, we have nothing to do with this. We are making no choices at all. Like, no, have a fucking character reason. Have character development on why these people would do the things that they would do, and it's just not the dragons lashing out. It's just not that people going back to that quote of Viserys saying, it's an illusion. We have no control over these dragons. Yes, you do. You can tell a dragon to burn something. You have some fucking illusion over these dragons. You have some type of control over these dragons. You can get on their back. You can tell them to burn something and win the land. You got some type of control, my nigga. You might not have 100%. You might have 90, 80, but you got some fucking control. And I just don't want to see them spamming the reason, the excuse of these dragons lashing out and burning stuff on their own instead of the riders making this decision of burning the stuff. It's like they even did it this season with Rhaena. I love that, and it led to character development and perfect screen moments and moments with Daemon and Rhaena and stuff like that. But we can't do that twice in one season. This dragon's just lashing out on their own. Let Hugh and Oath decide on their own why they would burn Thompson. Don't let it be Barmathor and Silverwing like, yes, let's burn this city together because we have a lust for blood and stuff like that. Like, no. But again, other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. See y'all next week, hopefully at the Battle of Thompson.
Up a lazy river where the robin song wakes a bright new morning, we can loaf along.